Have you ever wondered why some people always seem to achieve everything they desire, while the majority remains stuck in a cycle of failure and regret? Is it because they're luckier or born more talented? No, the answer doesn't lie in those things. The secret lies in 12 powerful principles that most people have never heard of. These principles not only transform the way you think, but can turn your boldest dreams into reality. Think of Sylvester Stallone, a man rejected dozens of times for his unclear speech and partially paralyzed face. Yet, he used these very principles to rise to global stardom with the movie Rocky. Now imagine if you could turn your greatest setbacks into your strongest motivations. How would your life change? But hold on, I'm not here to tell fairy tales or sell you empty promises. What you're about to hear isn't just theory or cliches. These are practical strategies proven by some of the most successful people in the world. And the best part, you don't need to be a genius or wealthy to apply them. All you need is the willingness to change. Get ready, because the next few minutes won't just make you think differently. They could mark the start of a journey that takes you to the life you've always dreamed of. Don't miss out. What you're about to hear might just be the biggest turning point of your life. Principle number 1, persistence. Did you know that persistence is the most critical factor determining success, surpassing both talent and luck? Persistence is not just about not giving up, it's about maintaining unwavering determination, even when everything around you seems to be working against you. It's the ability to rise after every failure and keep fighting, even when hope seems distant. Take the incredibly inspiring story of Sylvester Stallone as an example. He's not just a famous actor, but a symbol of persistence. Before becoming a global superstar with the movie Rocky, Stallone faced countless setbacks. In his youth, he lived in such poverty that he had to sell his beloved dog just to afford food. When he began pursuing his acting career, Stallone was rejected repeatedly due to his slurred speech and partially paralyzed face. Casting directors didn't even see him as leading man material. But here's the difference. He didn't give up. Stallone's persistence was so extraordinary that he wrote the screenplay for Rocky himself, a story about a boxer who overcomes all odds to achieve his dreams. When he pitched the script to producers, most turned him down. Some offered to buy it, but refused to let him play the lead role. Despite being in desperate circumstances, Stallone stood firm and refused the offers. Finally, thanks to his unwavering determination, he found a producer who agreed to let him star in the film. The rest is history. Rocky became one of the most iconic films of all time, and Stallone transformed from an unknown into a global sensation. This story demonstrates that persistence isn't an innate trait. It's a choice. It requires you to be willing to face disappointment, failure, and rejection, not once, but dozens or even hundreds of times. Imagine this. If Stallone had given up after the 10th, 20th, or even 50th rejection, would we ever have known Rocky or the name Sylvester Stallone? Now, apply this to your own life. Whenever you face difficulties, remember that every great achievement is built on a foundation of persistence. Don't fear failure. See every failure as a step closer to success. You might fall, but make sure you fall forward, so every time you stand up, you're closer to your dreams. Persistence is the key, and if you don't give up, the world won't be able to stop you. Principle number 2, setting goals. Goals. Have you ever felt like life is a boat drifting aimlessly on the ocean with no direction or destination? That's exactly what happens when you live without clear goals. A goal isn't just a destination, it's a guiding beacon, a source of motivation that gets you out of bed every morning with burning determination. But the key isn't just having a goal, it's about clearly defining it and breaking it down into manageable steps. Think of a goal as a journey. Do you want to climb the highest mountain? You can't do it in a single leap. You need to break the journey into stages, preparing your fitness, finding the right route, equipping yourself with the right tools, and conquering each section one at a time. Every small step is a victory on the path to a greater achievement. A real-world example. Look at Elon Musk. When he founded SpaceX, his goal wasn't just to build an aerospace company. Musk wanted to send humans to Mars, a bold vision many considered impossible. Instead of being overwhelmed by this grand idea, he broke it down into smaller, actionable milestones, developing reusable rocket technology, testing unmanned flights, and gradually advancing to manned missions. By breaking his goal into steps, each milestone became achievable, driving him closer to his ultimate dream. So, how can you apply this to your own life? First, visualize your biggest goal clearly. What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years or 10 years? Then, break that big goal into smaller, specific, and achievable milestones. For instance, if you want to become an expert in your field, your first step could be completing a relevant course. The next step could be building a personal project, followed by networking with experienced professionals in the industry. As you accomplish each small step, you'll naturally feel more motivated to push further. Here's another practical tip. Write your goals down. Research shows that writing down your goals increases your chances of achieving them by 42%. Place your goals somewhere you can see them frequently, on your desk, your phone, or the mirror in your bedroom. This keeps you focused and constantly reminds you why you started. Remember, a vague goal is like shooting an arrow in the dark. You'll never know if you've hit the target. But when a goal is clearly defined and broken into actionable steps, your path to success becomes more visible, manageable, and, most importantly, you'll feel progress every single day. So, what are you waiting for? Pick up a pen, write down the biggest goal of your life, and start with the first small step. That's how you turn your dreams into reality. Success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who know exactly what they want and are ready to take action today. Principle number 3, positive thinking. Did you know that positive thinking can be the secret power that completely transforms your life? It's not just an attitude, it's a powerful approach that helps you overcome challenges and turn even the toughest adversities into opportunities for growth and success. And this isn't just theoretical talk. Positive thinking has helped millions of people worldwide achieve extraordinary things, even in seemingly hopeless situations. Let's start with a famous example. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb. Before he succeeded, he failed over 1,000 times during his experiments. When asked if he ever felt discouraged by his failures, Edison replied that he didn't fail. He simply discovered 1,000 ways that didn't work. This positive mindset turned his failures into valuable lessons and ultimately led him to groundbreaking success. If he had given up after the 10th or 100th attempt, would the world today be illuminated by his invention? Positive thinking doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the silver lining even in the face of adversity. Here's something I always remind myself. You can't control what happens to you, but you can absolutely control how you respond. Instead of seeing failure as the end, view it as a stepping stone to learn and grow. Instead of focusing on obstacles, look for the opportunities they might bring. Another inspiring story that demonstrates the power of positive thinking is the life of Nick Vujicic, a man born without arms or legs. Despite immense physical challenges, Nick refused to let his circumstances define his destiny. Instead, he chose to live with optimism and a strong belief that he could make a difference. Today, Nick is a globally renowned motivational speaker, inspiring millions of people to realize that nothing is impossible if you adopt a positive attitude. So, how can you apply positive thinking in your own life? First, focus on what you have rather than what you lack. For instance, if you're facing difficulties at work, instead of feeling discouraged by unmet goals, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? Or, how can I improve next time? Second, develop the habit of positive self-talk. Instead of criticizing yourself with thoughts like, I'm not good enough, replace them with, I can learn to be better. Your mindset is the foundation of your actions, and your actions determine your results. Lastly, surround yourself with positive people. Optimism is contagious, and when you're around those who think positively, you'll feel energized and inspired. Remember, positive thinking isn't a magic wand that makes all problems disappear, but it will help you see the light at the end of the tunnel, even when everything seems darkest. It's not the challenges you face, but how you respond to them that defines who you are and what you achieve. Take a look at your life right now. What challenges are you facing? Instead of seeing them as burdens, ask yourself, could this be an opportunity to become stronger and learn more? You'll realize that positive thinking not only changes how you view everything, but also transforms your life itself. Choose to see the positive, because every challenge carries an opportunity for you to become the best version of yourself. Principle number 4, responsibility. Have you ever wondered who is truly responsible for your life? It's not your parents, not society, and not your circumstances. The only person responsible is you. Taking responsibility is not just an important step. It's the core principle that allows you to take control of your life, achieve success, and live fully. But responsibility is not a burden, it's a power. Imagine you're driving a car on the road of life. If you don't take the wheel, the car will veer into dangerous curves or lose its way entirely. Taking hold of the wheel is accepting that every decision, big or small, leads to outcomes you must face. Taking responsibility means you choose to take charge of your life instead of letting it drift aimlessly. One remarkable example of the power of responsibility is the life of Oprah Winfrey. Born into poverty, facing racism, and enduring family abuse, Oprah could easily have become a victim of her circumstances. Instead, she chose to take responsibility for her life. Rather than blaming what she had endured, Oprah used it as motivation to build her career and become one of the most influential women in the world. She didn't wait for someone to rescue her or change her fate. She carved her own path. So why is taking responsibility so important? Because it gives you true freedom. When you realize that every action you take affects your life, you also understand that you have the power to change it. That's when you stop blaming others or circumstances and start focusing on what you can do. A personal story I'll never forget involves a college friend of mine. He struggled with failing courses repeatedly and often blamed the professors for being unclear or assigning too much work. One day, he decided to sit down and ask himself, if I don't change, will I stay like this forever? From that moment, he took responsibility and adjusted his study methods, creating a structured plan. As a result, he graduated on time with impressive grades, all because of one simple decision: taking responsibility. How can you apply this principle to your life? First, be honest with yourself. What in your life isn't going the way you want? Your career, health, relationships. Don't blame others. Ask yourself, what can I do to change this? Second, take immediate action. If you want to improve your health, start with small daily workouts. If you want to increase your income, learn a new skill. Every change begins with small steps, but you must take responsibility and commit to them. Lastly, view failure as a lesson. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. Instead, use those mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow. As John C. Maxwell said, responsibility is the ability to respond to any situation. You can't control everything that happens, but you can absolutely control how you react. Remember, your life is the result of the decisions you make every single day. When you take responsibility, you become the one who can change and shape your life. That's when you stop merely existing. You own your life. Start today, because no one else can live your life, and no one else can take responsibility for it. Principle number 5, action. Did you know that the best thoughts and plans in the world become meaningless if you don't take action? Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. Many people fall into the trap of thinking too much and doing too little. They spend hours planning, but when it's time to execute, they hesitate, procrastinate, or wait for the perfect moment. The truth is, there's no moment more perfect than now. Imagine you want to build a house. You could spend months designing blueprints, choosing materials, and calculating costs. But if you never lay the foundation, that house will only ever exist on paper. Similarly, in life, big dreams require small actions to bring them to life. Action doesn't have to be perfect, but an imperfect step forward is always better than standing still. Take the example of J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before becoming one of the most successful writers of all time, Rowling was a single mother living on welfare. Instead of letting her circumstances dictate her future, she chose to act. Rowling began writing the Harry Potter story on scraps of paper in coffee shops, bit by bit, with no guarantee her work would ever be published. It was these small, daily actions that led to something extraordinary, a world captivated by her books and a life transformed. Had she waited for the right time or better circumstances, we might never have known Harry Potter. Here's a personal story that's equally thought-provoking. I once knew a friend who dreamed of starting a business for years. He had a detailed plan, extensive market research, but he hesitated to start because of the fear of failure. Meanwhile, someone else with a similar idea jumped in and achieved great success. My friend learned a tough lesson. Ideas are not everything. Action is what makes the difference. So how can you take action today? First, let go of the fear of failure. Failure isn't the end. It's a lesson that brings you closer to success. Instead of fearing mistakes, focus on what you'll learn through the process. Second, start small. If you want to write a book, begin with just 1 page a day. If you want to improve your health, start with a 10-minute walk. These small steps not only move you forward, but also build momentum to keep going. Third, make a commitment to yourself. Don't just say you'll do something. Set a specific action and follow through immediately. For instance, instead of saying, "I'll go to the gym," decide, "I'll be at the gym at 6 a.m. tomorrow." Remember, action doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is that you start. Every small step brings you closer to your goals. Success never comes to those who only think about it. It belongs to those who dare to act, dare to try, and dare to learn from their mistakes. So, what will you do today? Start now, because if you don't take action, your dreams will remain just dreams. Principle number 6, confidence. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's a skill you develop over time. It's the fire within that empowers you to face fears, overcome challenges, and move forward boldly even when the world around you doubts you. But how do you build confidence? The key lies in your willingness to confront fears and view challenges as opportunities for growth. Let's start with a familiar example. Michael Jordan, the basketball legend. Few people know that before becoming a global icon, he was cut from his high school basketball team for not being good enough. This rejection could have shattered anyone's confidence. But instead of giving up, Jordan chose to face the fear of failure head-on. He practiced relentlessly, using the rejection as fuel to improve himself. The result? He became one of the greatest athletes in history. The important thing to understand is this: confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to act despite fear. I once heard a powerful quote: "You don't need to see the whole bridge to take the first step. You just need to take that step." Every step forward, no matter how small, strengthens your belief in yourself. Another inspiring example is Nick Vujicic, the man born without arms and legs. To many, Nick's circumstances might seem insurmountable, but he didn't let them define him. Instead of focusing on his limitations, Nick chose to face the fear of living a different life. He became a motivational speaker, showing the world that confidence doesn't come from appearance or circumstances, but from how you perceive yourself. So, how can you build your own confidence? First, confront your smallest fears. If you're afraid of public speaking, start by speaking in front of a small group. If you fear failure, Remember that every successful person has failed. Instead of avoiding your fears, embrace them as opportunities to grow. Second, remind yourself of your past accomplishments. Write down things you're proud of, no matter how small they seem. This helps you see your value and shift your focus away from what you haven't achieved. Third, stop comparing yourself to others. Your confidence doesn't come from being better than someone else, but from becoming the best version of yourself. Focus on your own journey because everyone has their unique path and pace. A personal story I'd like to share is the first time I had to present in front of over 100 people. I was incredibly nervous and questioned whether I was capable, but instead of letting fear control me, I decided to challenge myself. The result wasn't perfect, but it was the first time I truly felt the power of overcoming fear. Since then, I've grown more confident with every presentation I've given. Remember, confidence doesn't happen overnight. It's built through small, consistent actions you take every day. Every time you dare to do something that scares you, you're moving closer to the strongest version of yourself. So, what will you do today to build your confidence? Don't wait. Start with the smallest step, and you'll be amazed at the transformation you can achieve. Principle number 7, creativity. Creativity isn't just a talent reserved for artists or a select few. It's a core skill that exists in all of us. It's the power that helps you discover new solutions, explore different approaches, and turn the impossible into the possible. But here's the key. Creativity doesn't come naturally. It needs to be ignited and nurtured. Imagine you're facing a major problem. Typically, you might resort to habitual methods or solutions that worked in the past, but creativity asks a different question. Is there another way? Can I approach this from a completely new perspective? And that's how breakthrough ideas are born. Take the example of Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. When developing products like the iPhone and iPad, Jobs didn't just think about creating a phone or a tablet. He asked a bigger question. How can we change the way people communicate, work, and entertain themselves? Instead of following the beaten path, Jobs combined technology with elegant design, creating products that were not only functional, but also inspiring. That's the power of creativity. It doesn't just solve problems, it changes the way we see the world. Creativity doesn't always lead to grand inventions. It can manifest in everyday situations. I once had a friend struggling to balance work and family responsibilities. Instead of sticking to her old routines, she decided to rethink her schedule. She adopted a flexible time blocking system and used technology to work remotely. As a result, not only did her work become more efficient, but she also gained precious time with her family. That's creativity, finding new ways to improve life from familiar challenges. So how can you unlock your creative potential? First, ask questions often. Don't accept things as they are. Ask yourself, why do I have to do it this way? Is there a better way? These simple questions are the keys to unlocking fresh ideas. Second, embrace risks and experimentation. Creativity has no room for absolute safety. Big ideas often emerge when you're willing to take risks and try something new, even if there's no guarantee of success. Third, nurture curiosity. Spend time reading books, watching movies, or exploring fields you've never delved into. Connecting ideas from different sources will help you discover creative solutions you never thought possible. Lastly, don't fear failure. Remember, even the most creative people have failed countless times before achieving success. Every experiment, even if unsuccessful, teaches you something valuable and brings you closer to a breakthrough idea. Think about a challenge you're currently facing. Instead of sticking to old solutions, take a moment to reflect. Is there a different approach? If I had no limitations, how would I tackle this? You might surprise yourself with the ideas you come up with. Creativity is the key to unlocking limitless potential in each of us. Let it guide you to new solutions, fresh perspectives, and a life filled with inspiration. Principle number 8. Communication. Communication isn't just about expressing your ideas or listening to others. It's the art of connection. It's the bridge that links people to their goals. In both work and life, effective communication is the key to unlocking deeper relationships, greater understanding, and lasting success. But why is communication so important? Imagine you're a ship captain, but can't convey navigation orders to your crew. Your ship would descend into chaos, with no direction. Similarly, in life, if you can't communicate clearly and effectively, everything you do, whether it's a major project or a personal relationship, can easily veer off course. A fantastic example of the power of effective communication is Steve Jobs. When introducing Apple products, he didn't just provide information, he told a story. Jobs had the ability to connect with his audience emotionally and visually, making them not just understand, but feel the innovation and passion behind his products. That's why his presentations weren't merely speeches, they were experiences. He turned complex ideas into something simple, relatable, and inspiring. This demonstrates that communication isn't just about speaking. It's about how you convey your message and how it makes others feel. Communication isn't confined to work. It's just as important in daily life. A friend of mine once shared that he almost lost his relationship with his partner because they couldn't understand each other. But when they learned to communicate openly, listening, empathizing, and expressing their feelings sincerely, their relationship transformed entirely. This shows that communication isn't just about exchanging information. It's about building emotional bridges. So how can you improve your communication skills? First, learn to listen. Effective communication isn't just about what you say, it's about how you listen. Listening isn't waiting for your turn to talk. It's about truly paying attention to the other person and understanding the meaning behind their words. Second, use simple and clear language. A complex message is harder to connect with. Try to articulate your ideas using straightforward and specific language, avoiding ambiguity. Third, let emotions guide your words. A message without emotion is like a loaf of bread without filling, complete in form but hollow in substance. When you speak with passion and sincerity, you're not just communicating, you're creating a connection. Fourth, refine your body language. Communication isn't just about words. How you stand, your eye contact, gestures, and facial expressions are all part of the message you convey. A confident look or a genuine smile can often be more powerful than 1,000 words. I recall attending an important meeting where a colleague presented a highly creative idea. However, instead of delivering it clearly and engagingly, he spoke in a lengthy, unstructured manner. As a result, his brilliant idea didn't receive the recognition it deserved. This reminded me that communication isn't just about having ideas. It's about conveying those ideas so others understand and support them. Remember, communication isn't a skill you're born with. It's one you develop over time. Don't be afraid to experiment, adjust, and learn from others' feedback. Every interaction is an opportunity to connect, inspire, and make a difference. So, what will you do today to improve your communication skills? Start by truly listening, speaking sincerely, and building strong relationships through the power of communication. The world doesn't need you to say more. It needs you to communicate effectively. Principle number 9, consistency. Consistency is the secret that most successful people hold. It's not just about repeating the same action over and over. It's about persistent effort and continuous improvement, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Success doesn't come from one grand effort in a single day. It comes from small, repeated steps every day with determination. Imagine you're sculpting a statue from a massive block of stone. You can't complete it with a single strike. Instead, you have to be patient, chiseling away little by little over time. Consistency works the same way. Small, deliberate actions, repeated consistently with a clear purpose, eventually lead to significant change. A shining example of the power of consistency is Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest football players in the world. Ronaldo's excellence isn't just due to innate talent, but also to his relentless habit of training for decades. Even at the peak of his career, he is often the first to arrive at practice and the last to leave. Ronaldo refines himself with every shot, every move, every game. This unwavering consistency has transformed him from a poor boy in Madeira into a global icon. But consistency isn't just for sports stars, it applies to everyday life as well. I once knew a friend who wanted to learn how to play the guitar. At first, she could barely move her fingers correctly, and the sounds she made were harsh and unpleasant. Yet, she chose to practice every day, even if it was only for 15 minutes. A year later, not only could she play her favorite songs, but she also performed in front of her friends. That's the power of consistency. It doesn't just improve skills, it builds confidence and a sense of accomplishment. So, how can you cultivate consistency in your life? First, set clear goals. You can't persist if you don't know what you're working toward. Identify a specific goal and remind yourself why you started. Second, establish small daily habits. Small, regular actions lead to significant results. For instance, if you want to improve your health, start with 10 minutes of exercise daily. If you want to learn a new skill, dedicate 30 minutes a day to practice. The key is to stay consistent, not to overwhelm yourself at the start. Third, embrace imperfection. Consistency doesn't mean you have to be perfect every day. There will be days when you feel tired or uninspired, but what matters is that you don't stop. Even a small step is better than standing still. Fourth, measure your progress. Keep track of what you do daily. This not only helps you see your progress, but also motivates you to keep going. A personal story. I once aspired to write a book, but every time I started, I felt overwhelmed by the sheer amount of work. Then I decided to write just 500 words a day. Only 500 words. Day by day, page by page, the book came together. That experience taught me a valuable lesson about consistency. Success isn't about one giant leap. It's the accumulation of thousands of small steps. Remember, consistency is the bridge between intention and success. You don't have to do everything perfectly right away, but you need to do it consistently. Success is the result of persistence and constant self-improvement. Start today, because every small action you take today brings you closer to the best version of yourself. Principle number 10, time management. Time is your most valuable asset, yet it's also the easiest to waste. Unlike money or material possessions, time cannot be regained. Once it's gone forever. Managing your time effectively not only helps you maximize productivity, but also empowers you to take control of your life, achieve your goals, and enjoy what truly matters. But why do we often feel like there's never enough time? Think of your time as a bag of coins. If you don't manage how you spend them, the bag will empty without leaving any significant value behind. Similarly, if you don't plan your day, each hour will slip away without yielding meaningful results. The key is to master your time instead of letting it control you. A great example of time management is the life of Benjamin Franklin, a renowned inventor, politician, and philosopher. Franklin followed a meticulous and disciplined daily schedule. He spent his mornings planning the day, his afternoons working efficiently, and his evenings reflecting on what he had accomplished. This approach not only helped him optimize his time, but also enabled him to achieve extraordinary success in multiple fields. On a personal level, I knew a young entrepreneur who was overwhelmed by his busy schedule, feeling like he never had time for his family or himself. He decided to adopt the Eisenhower matrix, a method that categorizes tasks into 4 quadrants: important and urgent, important but not urgent, not important but urgent, and neither important nor urgent. By prioritizing the most critical tasks, he not only became more effective at work, but also made time for his family and hobbies. So, how can you manage your time more effectively? First, plan your day. Before starting a new day, take a few minutes to list the tasks you need to accomplish. Prioritize the most important ones and tackle them during your peak energy hours. Second, learn to say no. Don't let your time be consumed by tasks that are not important or don't align with your goals. Focus on what truly matters. Third, minimize distractions. While technology offers many conveniences, it also brings endless distractions. Turn off unnecessary notifications, close irrelevant tabs on your computer, and create a quiet workspace to maintain maximum focus. Fourth, use productivity tools. Tools and methods like the Pomodoro Technique, Trello, or Google Calendar can help you organize your tasks systematically. Finally, evaluate your time usage. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect. Did I use my time effectively today? What could I improve? This continuous evaluation will help you optimize your time management. A personal story I'd like to share. I used to feel constantly busy, but didn't accomplish much. After adopting the Pomodoro Technique, working in focused 25-minute intervals with 5-minute breaks, I found myself completing tasks faster and with higher quality. Instead of feeling stressed, I had time to relax and recharge. This experience showed me that effective time management can transform how you work and experience life. Remember, time is the one thing you can't buy more of. Every minute wasted is a minute you'll never get back. Time management isn't just about doing more, it's about doing what truly matters most. Start today, because how you use your time will ultimately determine how you live your life. Principle number 11. Taking risks. Life truly begins when you step out of your comfort zone. Taking risks is not just an action, it's a mindset, a commitment to move closer to achieving your biggest goals. Many people shy away from risks because they fear failure, judgment, or the unknown. But the truth is, the biggest risk is taking no risk at all. Staying in your comfort zone also means refusing the chance to grow, learn, and accomplish extraordinary things. Let's look at a prime example. Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla and SpaceX. Musk didn't just dream big, he bet everything on those dreams. After selling PayPal, he invested nearly all his earnings into Tesla and SpaceX, two industries many believed were doomed to fail. Tesla was on the verge of bankruptcy, and SpaceX experienced several rocket launch failures. But instead of giving up, Musk took even bigger risks, persevered, and innovated tirelessly. Today, both Tesla and SpaceX are industry leaders, and Musk's dream of reaching Mars is closer than ever. However, not every risk leads to immediate success. A friend of mine once took the bold step of leaving a stable job to start a tech company. At first, he faced countless challenges. His ideas were rejected, financial pressure mounted, and he doubted himself. Yet, those challenges forced him to be more creative, work harder, and develop skills he never thought he needed. After 2 years, his company not only survived, but thrived. This taught me a valuable lesson. Risk isn't the enemy, it's a teacher. So how can you take risks wisely? First, identify your biggest fear and analyze it. Most of the things we worry about are not as bad as they seem. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? How can I minimize this risk? Breaking down the fear will make it feel less intimidating. Second, start with small risks. You don't have to overhaul your entire life to begin taking risks. Try something new every day, even if it's small. For instance, learn a new skill, strike up a conversation with a stranger, or attempt something you previously thought you couldn't do. Third, prepare for failure and learn from it. Failure isn't the end. It's part of the growth process. If you've never failed, it means you've never attempted anything truly challenging. Fourth, draw inspiration from people who have taken risks. Read about individuals like Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, or Elon Musk, and you'll see they all stepped out of their comfort zones and faced significant risks to achieve remarkable success. Personally, I had a memorable experience with taking risks. The first time I accepted a large project, I was unsure if I was capable of handling it. It was in a field I had never explored before, and the pressure to succeed was immense. But I decided to take on the challenge, learn along the way, and give it my all. Not only did the project turn out well, but I also discovered new potential within myself that I hadn't recognized before. Remember, every time you take a risk, you're positioning yourself to learn and grow. Risk isn't something to fear. It's an opportunity to push your limits and unlock doors to extraordinary possibilities you never imagined. So, what will you do today to step out of your comfort zone? Start small, because those who dare to take risks are the ones who make a difference. Principle number 12, continuous learning. Learning doesn't stop when you leave school. It's a lifelong journey. The most successful people in the world share one common trait: they never stop learning. They understand that every experience, whether a success or a failure, is a valuable lesson that helps them grow stronger, wiser, and closer to their goals. Continuous learning isn't just a choice, it's a necessity for thriving in a constantly changing world. Take Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft and one of the world's wealthiest individuals, as an example. Despite achieving success beyond most people's wildest dreams, Gates maintains a daily habit of reading. He reads across a variety of topics, from science and history to philosophy, not just to expand his knowledge, but also to seek fresh ideas. Gates once said, "I never stop learning because the world never stops changing." This clearly shows that learning is a lifelong process, and his unrelenting curiosity has kept him at the forefront of innovation. Continuous learning doesn't just come from books or formal education. It can come from daily experiences. I once knew an entrepreneur who started a business with little experience. At first, he made many mistakes, from poor financial management to ineffective marketing strategies. But instead of becoming discouraged, he saw each mistake as an opportunity to learn. He took the time to analyze his failures, sought advice from experienced mentors, and gradually adjusted his approach. A few years later, his business flourished, and he often said, "My failures were my best teachers." So how can you incorporate continuous learning into your life? First, stay curious. Don't hesitate to ask questions, even about things you think you already know. The world is constantly evolving, and so is knowledge. Ask yourself, is there a better way to do this? Or, what can I learn from others? Second, learn from your experiences. Every success is a lesson, and every failure is too. Take time to reflect. What did I do right? And what can I improve? Self-reflection not only helps you grow, but also prevents you from repeating the same mistakes. Third, don't limit your learning to one area. One of the best ways to innovate and grow is by learning from different fields. For example, if you work in technology, read about psychology or art. The intersection of diverse areas can spark new ideas you never imagined. Fourth, seek mentors. Learning from those who've gone before you is a great way to accelerate your growth. Mentors not only share their knowledge, but also help you avoid the mistakes they've made. Personally, I've had a profound lesson in continuous learning during my first job. Initially, I thought I knew enough to succeed, but reality proved otherwise. I made many mistakes, but instead of beating myself up, I decided to learn from them. I took online courses, read books, and even sought advice from colleagues. As a result, I not only improved my performance, but also developed new skills that opened up opportunities for advancement. Remember, learning isn't a destination. It's a journey. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new, to grow as a person, and to get closer to your goals. When you never stop learning, you never stop improving. And when you never stop improving, nothing is impossible. So, what have you learned today? Stay curious, stay open, and always be ready to learn, because that's the key to achieving every dream you have in life. Detailed summary. Life is an unending journey, and achieving success requires steadfast principles to guide you. This article takes you through the core principles for building a meaningful and successful life: persistence, confidence, effective communication, time management, risk-taking, and continuous learning. These are not mere theoretical concepts, but practical roadmaps to help you overcome challenges, optimize your potential, and achieve your goals. Persistence. Success is not a destination, but a journey built from small, repeated steps every single day. Through the story of Cristiano Ronaldo, a symbol of perseverance and relentless self-improvement, you realize that mastering your skills and maintaining persistence can turn the impossible into reality. Consistency and effort is what separates dreamers from achievers. Confidence. Confidence doesn't come from knowing everything, but from being ready to face fears and consistently push beyond your limits. From the lessons of Nick Vujicic, a man without arms or legs who inspired millions, we learn that confidence isn't about the absence of fear, but about acting despite it. Confidence is the inner strength that propels you forward, no matter how much the world doubts you. Effective communication. The ability to communicate effectively is the bridge that leads you to success in your career and builds lasting relationships. Learn to listen deeply and speak sincerely. The story of Steve Jobs, who transformed presentations into unforgettable experiences, illustrates that communication isn't just about delivering information, but about touching people's hearts with clarity and emotion. Time management. Time is the most precious asset you own. Learning from Benjamin Franklin, who optimized every hour of his day to achieve remarkable accomplishments, we understand that managing time effectively not only enhances productivity, but also brings balance and meaning to life. Don't let time slip away. Plan wisely, prioritize what's important, and learn to say no to what doesn't serve your goals. Taking risks. The greatest opportunities in life often lie on the other side of fear. By looking at Elon Musk, who risked everything to pursue his dreams of space exploration, we realize that risk isn't an enemy. It's an opportunity to push boundaries and grow. Continuous learning. The world is constantly changing, and only those who remain curious and eager to learn can adapt and lead. From Bill Gates' reading habits to lessons learned from personal failures, we understand that learning doesn't stop at school. It must become a lifelong habit. True success comes when you treat every day as an opportunity for self-improvement. In conclusion, these principles aren't just theoretical advice. They are proven lessons demonstrated through real stories. Success is not about luck, but a combination of persistence, continuous learning, and courage to face the biggest challenges. By applying these principles, you'll not only achieve your goals, but also become the best version of yourself. If you found these lessons inspiring and valuable, don't forget to like and share this article to spread the knowledge to your friends and family. Make sure to subscribe to the Summary Update channel to receive meaningful summaries, inspirational stories, and the latest success tips. Join us on this exciting journey of self-development and reaching new heights.